Greens was founded by my grandmother in 1947, just after the war, and she opened a shop. Well, actually, it was already an art, materials, and stationers. It had been since the end of the 19th century in the bit of Dulwich Village where we are. So she also opened a toy shop further down the village a bit later on. And when my father, Brian, was about 18, he began to work for her and eventually took over the shop. So he's been a kind of fixture in the village all this time. And we brought the toy shop into the back part of the original stationer. So it's kind of all one premises with a sort of corridor where for decades children have been kind of scuttling down to get to the Aladdin's cave, which is the toy shop at the back. And so that's where we've been all this time until the pandemic. And now we're still there, but we've got all the stuff in the front shop in one kind of amazing emporium. So we're selling toys, we're selling stationery, art materials, and greetings cards, all under one roof. So this has really changed in the last few years, obviously, and I've tried to get with the programme. Obviously, I'm a bit of a fossil these days compared to my teenage kids. They think I am anyway. So I have been using Facebook and Instagram, and we're also part of a platform that is all the shops in our village using a sort of a part of a group that a lady posts every day different things about the village, including sort of special things that are going on with each individual shop. So that's really useful, I think, to be part of a high street Instagram page. Well, I think they massively add character to a place. I think the character of a high street is really enhanced by lots of shops that aren't the kind of rather corporate or sort of shops that you see everywhere, but also I think they can provide continuity in a kind of crazy changing world. Like lots of people come in our shop and say, oh, you're still here, it's exactly as it was when I was a child, and of course I still look as young as that, but it's it's that feeling of some things are still there, and people kind of, especially family-run businesses, I think people do actually appreciate that that shops kind of carry on. It's sort of almost like a sort of legacy that you're taking on when you take on an independent shop. And if you're opening an independent shop, I think you're very brave, and I think you're starting a new legacy, and that can be something really special. So I think the whole thing has been a kind of really a symbiotic relationship. It's been local support in customers coming to us through thick or thin, but also us getting to them. And I think that's been the important thing, is that we've kind of stepped up to meet that customer loyalty. We did cycle deliveries. We did over 600 cycle and walking deliveries over lockdown, and the first lockdown, and we had we actually got a lot of new customers from the fact that everybody was kind of pulling together. So there were all these sort of chat groups and WhatsApp groups for streets and mums, and people would get to know about us that maybe hadn't necessarily been coming to us all that time, and now they're sort of engaged with us, which is great. If you don't support your independent shops, they're going to close down. I think everybody realizes now that especially independent shops are not cushioned by sort of any large company behind them. They have to make sales every month in order to survive. So people want their high streets to remain thriving and to remain busy, and if they do use the local shops, then that will happen. Local shops, shops like ours, we know our customers. So if you've been shopping with us for a little while and you come in, I'll know what kind of cards you like, what kind of toys you want for your children, and I'll be able to direct you towards them. And also, I'll even think about you when I'm ordering, because I'll think, so and so would really like that sort of thing, and I might order things in just knowing what my customers enjoy. We edit the huge array of products that you can find on online, for example. We edit them down to what we think is really good. We've only got a little bit of shelf space, so I'm only going to get the creme de la creme, which I think is value for money, value, get the most out of. So it's the edit that we offer, as well as the customer service. And the fact that we're really adaptable. So during this whole time, we've had to morph so many times, but we've been able to do it at the drop of a hat, because we're not part of a huge corporation. We can change our buying habits and our selling habits immediately if we need to. And that's what I think has made us seem like a lovely place to be. I'm not just talking about my shop, I'm talking about my whole high street. Well, I have to say that despite everything, this period has given me so much food for thought on where things are going. And it's so changed, my view of how people use their shops and how people value their shops, because now I think there's a real sense of local areas being, the kind of very heart of the people that live in them. So it's you see the families coming out during the weekends, and people popping out from working at home during the day, during the week, which is something that we didn't used to see so much. I get a lot of people coming in that are probably staying much more locally during the week as well. So that really helps our local shops, because our opening hours, generally speaking, don't compete with, certainly they don't compete with online opening hours. So we have to be able to sell our products and provide our services during the time when everyone is often at work. But if people have got more flexible lives now, that makes it easier for us to serve people during the day. We have our own website, which is greensdulwichvillage.com, and we also are on Instagram. We've got the handle Art Stationers and also Greens Village Toy Shop.